let's debate for a better future. Here we discuss about some of the pressing issues in our society and create awareness among the youth in hope of a better future. Today's topic is one of the longest ongoing problems that exists in our society: women's safety and gender-based violence. Safety has been the biggest concern for women all over the world for so many years. Women are not, even in this 21st century, women are so unsafe, not just on the streets, even in their own home. This has to change, and that's the motive of today's discussion, so let's get into it. Firstly, I'm so honored to introduce two of our esteemed guests who have graciously agreed to come on our show. Firstly, our very brave domestic violence survivor and now activist who has created several shelters and NGOs for gender-based violence victims, Ain. For our expert point of view, we have a professional psychologist who works with violence victims and helps them to overcome this trauma, Dr. Haley. So Ain, thank you so much for being here. My first question for you is, how has this experience has impacted you?
Assalamualaikum and a very good day, everyone. Well, thank you to Ms. Yuba for inviting me and give me the chance to share the thoughts and experience. In the first place, to speak regards gender-based violence are taboo for the victim, especially, and it does affect us a lot. This is because it knows no social, economic, or national boundaries. The violence that impacts on me undermines my health, dignity, security, and autonomy, yet it remains shrouded in culture of silence. And to be exact, the physical and emotional impact is lasting, and they seeps into every shape of my life. So thus indeed, I exhibit a variety of trauma-induced symptoms, which include sleep and eating disturbance, depressions, feeling of humiliation, anger and self-blame, also fear of sex and the inability to concentrate.
Wonderful. What services, resources, or people who have helped you in this recovery?
Well, my family was the first thing that sprang to my mind. Thank God they are incredibly supportive. They provided me with the safe space I required to speak out and be heard. And they are also being excellent listeners rather than condemning me for what has already occurred. Aside from that, my surrounds, particularly my friends and my co-workers, they encourage and push me to be positive, which helps me to approach the authorities following the occurrence. Furthermore, I contacted a non-governmental group called as Women's Aid Organization, or WAO, which provides refuge to over 100 women and children each year, which guaranteeing that women who are abused have a safe place to go. And they also have social workers who accompany me throughout the legal procedure and provide emotional support as well.
My final question for you, Ain, why do you think that this is very important for people to know?
Okay, people need to know that about 1 in 3 women have experienced some form of sexual or physical violence during their lifetime, and this is very alarming. Violence against women and girls doesn't just affect individual health, but also carries a very significant economic burden, which results in lost productivity and cost related to the healthcare, law enforcement, and also social protection service.
Thank you so much, Ain, for sharing your experience. So moving on to our expert opinion, Dr. Haley, thank you for being on our show, and my question for you is, what is the prevailing question raised in your mind when you hear gender-based violence or femicide?
Thank you, Ms. Yuan. When we talk about gender violence or femicide, of course, it is considered a type of suppression against women that can be eradicated once they are educated and occupy social and professional positions in a powerful way. Then what are the general questions we raise to us is it is still happening now? Do women are feeling safe, or do they treat it better, or do the violence against them reduce? Here, I would also like to state again the type of violence, which are domestic violence, femicide like honor killing, and also the sexual violence. So yeah, thank you.
Great answer, Dr. Haley. In your professional opinion, how do you think that gender-based violence impact a victim mentally?
So for gender-based violence, of course, it's referred to harmful act directed to the individual or group of individuals based on their gender. Like in this case, we are talking about women. And obviously, this really bring a huge impact on the victim. Like for example, the mental health issue, which also have a high prevalence nowadays. Study also shows that women with history of physical violence tend to have a higher risk of incidents in major suppression. Besides that, there is also the high developing of the depression, PTSD, and also the suicidal cases among the women. Hence, it's really bring a significant issues on the women.
So Dr. Haley, as a professional psychiatrist, what are the treatments that you recommend to these victims?
All right, so for treatment, instead of saying treatment, we will be more focused on the prevention. So which are the emergency department and office care, medical record, and also the disposition. For example, we will have the medical record, which is crucial for them as evidence purposes to convey an abuser. Also, it used to describe the abusive event and current complaints by the patient using their own words. So this is one of the example. And also, of course, we would like to encourage those women be brave and confident to share out, like if they have this kind of issue. We also collaborate with governments to create more awareness on the women's safety topics. Yes, that's all from me. Thank you.
Thank you so much to our guests for your amazing input. So next in our show, our team has prepared a quick survey on the street. Let's take a look at it and let's see what the public has to say about women's safety. Do you think the government has did their best to enhance women's safety nowadays?
I think it is enough, but it needs to be improvised more because if it's fully enough, rape, robbery won't be happening for women. So I think government need to improve the safety for women.
Wow, that's some great response from our public. Thank you, Dr. Haley and Ka'ain, to be part of our show today. And there you go, guys. We have put the exact situation in front of you. And now it's your time to decide and act accordingly. Women have endured this unfairness and this violence against them since the beginning of its time. Now we have to put an end to it. It's time now. So in that note, we'll take your leave, and next time we'll come back with a different topic. Stay tuned and thank you.